Alright, missing name here with a game for Sundowner's Awful Games thread. This one takes a little bit of explanation. One day, a few years ago, I was really bored and I thought, well, maybe I'll just go to the game store, find a cheap, bad game, and waste the rest of the day with it. And I found one. It's a Disney tie-in game with Pirates of the Caribbean for the Game Boy Advance, and Jesus Christ, it's terrible. You might have noticed the music and sound effects already are part of the regrettable bits of this game, also the art, and then there's the whole thing where the plot really doesn't follow the story of the movies at all. So, we'll get into that, and we'll be treated to a lengthy cutscene which gets us right into the first fetch quest of the game, find some firewood. This is one of the games that has the unfortunate compulsion to tell you how to do absolutely every single action in the game. You know, there's only, Game Boy Advance, so we're looking at, A button, B button, directional pad, left and right triggers, start and select, and then the power button. So, yeah, we're looking at really complicated buttons here that we can't figure out how to use. So there's going to be pop-up windows for every time something new happens, and, they're just going to get generally annoying. And we can't really skip them. All we can do is to keep hitting the action button and the message will go away slightly faster. So if you really want, I'm going to be doing that a lot in this game, so just pause if you really feel like reading it. Same goes for dialogue. None of it's really important. I'll just give a basic summary and it'll all you'll need to know for this game. Movement's a little wonky. You can get caught on objects rather easily. And then there's the whole matter of combat. You can use your sword with A, and just keep slicing away and hope you'll hit the enemy. You can press B to do a lunge attack, but it takes a long time, and honestly, you're not going to get much more results than if you were just mash the A button, so there's really no point in using it. I'll use it sometimes, but meh, whatever. And the whole thing with the automatically drawing the sword when you're near an enemy is that sometimes certain enemies can actually close in faster than you, then you can automatically draw your sword. And since you can't move during that, you're kind of screwed over and you'll get damage before you can actually fight back. The only way to counter this is to keep your sword ready at all the time, and that just gets really annoying, because you walk much slower when you have the sword out, and you have to be fairly close anyway. So, screw it. Now, take some time to listen to the wonderful jungle theme. Jungle/cave theme. Fuck is my room? Okay, for those of you who haven't hit mute by now, there's our objective right there, firewood. So now we can light a fire, track down a passing ship, and then get ourselves off this island. So, now that we've collected the firewood, we get the mission complete screen. We've collected some gold, some treasure, and we can use those to unlock things. I'll be showing those off as we go along. And this game uses a save system of passwords. So you can write it down on a piece of paper, or lose a piece of paper, forget about it, and say screw it and play something else. In all honesty, I'm kind of tempted to do that already. Have I mentioned the graphics yet and how Jack Sparrow only tangentially looks like Johnny Depp? So now that we've completed our first mission, we get to go straight on to the second mission, which is another fetch quest. The British have lost some gold in the city of Port Royal, and we have to go steal it from them while murdering any British soldiers we come across. Let's get that started. Now count down to the most annoying music in the game. 3, 2, 1, go. now the music loops over again. Yes, the version of Yo-Ho, Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for me loops after only about 12.5 seconds. And this little segment of the game alone takes, roughly 4 minutes to complete. So we're gonna have to listen to that loop over and over and over and over and over again. Don't be surprised if in future videos I just start hitting mute completely on the audio and replacing it with, I don't know, something worth listening to. So the game's got that going for it. We've already come across some British soldiers. They are a little more difficult than our previous enemies in that they can parry our attacks, they know how to walk away from us, and they take 2 hits to kill. Still, they're really not that much of an issue. You can sneak up on some of the soldiers and take them out fairly easily. Well, actually I should say easier than normal. But I kind of wish you could go up behind them and do some sort of stealth attack, you know, Metal Gear Solid style. Grab them and interrogate them or what have you. I actually forget I said that would be absolutely stupid in this game. These potions I'm picking up here, they don't restore your health when you pick them up. You have to go into your inventory and use them. There are 2 kinds of potion. The green potions restore part of your health, and I want to say about a third of it. And the gold potions restore your health completely. Later on you're going to start worrying about your health more, but for now, your enemies are pretty easy and you can get by without using any sort of health regenerating items. I've noticed that all the bags of gold have British soldiers near them patrolling around the area, so they're either so bad at trying to find the gold that's been stolen from them, and they don't even realize that it's there when they're right on top of it practically, or they're guarding it for no particular reason instead of bringing it back to their garrison. Either way, it sounds kind of stupid. I don't really know why they wouldn't be taking care of their gold. You can also start attacking a comrade right next to them, and they won't notice. I'm just going to assume that all the soldiers in Port Royal have a collective IQ of 50, maybe a little higher, 55. We'll call it 60, just to be generous. Again, here's another potion, and yet again, we're not going to be needing it. I'm really not sure why they gave you so many potions in this level. Anything you pick up here doesn't get used in the next mission. In other words, there's absolutely no point in picking these up, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I just don't think this choice of music works for this. Sure, you're a pirate and you want to be a pirate and do pirate things, but still, having this cheery music while you're going around destroying the entire garrison of a British-held city, I don't think that's something to be too cheery about. I mean, you might be getting gold, but still, you're killing a lot of people, and you're leaving the city wide open to pirate attack. Oh, spoilers. Well, no matter, because there is the final bag of gold, and now we can get out of this goddamn level and away from this goddamn music. After an abrupt cut to the mission complete screen, we'll be going back to the tavern to talk to Willie here. For the next part in this wonderful little game, we're going to be trying something new. We're going to be using our ship, which we have just bought. We're going to be sailing the waters around Port Royal and sinking British merchant ships for no apparent reason, because pirates do things like that, or so I've heard. Unsurprisingly enough, this part will also be tedious and boring. At least the music isn't nearly as annoying as what we just had to put up with. Behold, our beautiful cutter! It controls like a tank! Of course, it doesn't allow for very fine maneuvering, which can be a little bit troublesome when we want to try attacking a ship or picking up some sort of item. Since this is the first ship in the game, it's rather slow. And despite the graphic of the ship itself having multiple cannon to each side, we only have one each on port and starboard, and they fire rather slowly, so I suppose that maybe we have a whole bunch of dummies fixed to the ship. In theory, fitting your ship with multiple dummy guns will allow you to stop merchants more easily because they will be frightened into attacking because it appears that you have many, many more guns than they do. In our case, it doesn't matter because all we're doing is immediately attacking and sinking any ship we see, and there's no point in stopping them if we're just going to sink them anyway. But we are pirates and we don't care. Jesus Christ. Later on, you can get more ships that have more cannons that fire faster. Also, because we only have a very small amount of our treasure map at the moment, we can't go very far, because the wind knows exactly where our piece of map ends, and so will prevent us from going any further than that, and will blow us back towards Port Royal. You might have noticed me switching between shells in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. You have regular cannonballs, which do a little bit of damage, and then you have shells, which do twice the damage. You only have a few shells at a time, so at least save them for when you're low on health or whatever. Otherwise, just stick to regular old cannonballs. The barrels floating around contain things that could be of use. They can contain treasure, health to repair your ship, even though it's a cross-shaped health item, whatever, and shells. Now, I might be wrong, but I think some of these are also mines, so if you run into them, they blow up and do damage to the ship. Don't quote me on that, though. The 3 merchant ships are rather spread out in the map. Even if you can remember where they are, generally, it still takes a while to find each ship because the map is a little too large just to be randomly sailing around it. That's kind of annoying, and it just makes the gameplay tedious here, too. I have no idea if I'm going to finish a Let's Play for this game, because it's just so boring and tedious that I'm going to run out of commentary really quickly. I'm already reaching that point right now. I'm probably going to start talking about, I don't know, fucking the truth of pirates in the next video or something. I'll try to finish this terrible game, because, Jesus Christ, I played it, and I'm just gonna make you suffer through it as well, whether you like it or not. Also, it gives me an excuse to drink more rum, because that's the only way I can get through this. But wait, we have our last merchant ship there. Oh, have you noticed that all the merchant ships are flying a black flag? They have the Jolly Roger, yes. Because these merchant ships also stand in for pirate ships later. Okay, now that we've essentially declared war on all of British shipping, we're gonna head back to the stronghold of the British Royal Navy, because that makes sense. Now we're gonna check off another item on our pirate trope list, hunting for buried treasure. Oh, joy. Now, this mission has 3 objectives, 2 of which are told to you, and the last is rather hidden. If you think about it, it makes sense, but it's just kind of annoying because they don't outright tell you. First, you have to find a shovel. The townspeople hint that you need a shovel, and if you don't get it and you go to the spot where the treasure's buried, you're just gonna stand around and do nothing because you can't dig it up. Second, you have to find the map, which is hidden in the graveyard, and then you have to go find where the map is pointing you to, so you can get the treasure. Now, the blind man we saw in the last town roaming mission is actually a recurring character. He's the one who's giving you hints throughout all of this. He's the one who tells you that you have to find a shovel. Not Willie the Tavern Keeper, or just, not even the game itself. In any case, the shovel is in a fairly easy to find spot. While I'm searching for the shovel, of course, I'm going to have to keep digging around and finding treasure because it will unlock something after this mission. I have to collect 200 pieces. Now, the different treasures you can see, there's piles of gems, or there's golden cups and the coins. I don't know exactly how much treasure you get from each, but I'm guessing coins are worth 1 each, cups are 2, and gem blocks are 5 each, or something like that. I don't know. At least the music isn't as grating as last time. Okay, there's a shovel. We can go to the graveyard now and dig someone's body up. Yay! Alright, all this gold grinding will get us somewhere. It will make combat a lot easier in the upcoming missions. In the meantime, it's just more of the same. Kill British soldiers, get their gold. And yes, I'm leaving all of this in this video just so you get an idea of what you have to go through for the entire game. Next update, I'm just going to cut out all the treasure grinding and go straight for the storyline. In all honesty, why would you want to see a 100% run of this game? At last we have found the fabled graveyard. Now we have to search all the graves and find out which one has the body of Willie the Tavern Keeper's great uncle, whatever the fuck it was. I don't care. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I went through the credits of this game and compared them to what I see on the gravestones and find out that they're all going to be lead developers or something like that. The way this game is made, though, if the credits are more than 3 names long, I'm going to be really surprised. This gravestone calls the occupant a cut purse. Now, a cut purse is an old term for thief, because he would literally come behind you and cut your purse off while you weren't noticing. There's your history lesson for the day. Christ, I just might have to file this Let's Play under education or something on YouTube. Or I could just go with the standard pets and animals, that's always a good call. When you do find the map, it's on some sort of delay so that you can't pick it up immediately. I don't know why they did that, it's just annoying. See, I walked through it here and can't pick it up, so I have to go back around and get it. But if we go into our annoying parrot inventory, we can look at the map and see that years and years and years ago, someone decided that these 3 palm trees would be a great place to hold treasure. Never mind that palm trees can topple over easily and don't live very long. You know what? I'm done with logic in this game. So now let's go find palm trees. They're out in the jungle. We'll also be introduced to a new type of enemy in this place. It's a scorpion. Also, there's a random spot here that you can't walk on. Back to the scorpions. They pretty much put these in the game just to piss you off, because they don't move. The only way you can get damaged is if you deliberately run into them. However, you still draw your sword near them and walk really slowly around them, and you can't do anything until they're dead. In other words, they're just time wasters. You also have to get very close in order to hit them. Like, really, really close. Here we have a whole bunch of them guarding a pile of gems. There's also a bunch of British soldiers patrolling this area of the jungle for no particular reason. I guess they're looking for pirates. Or maybe they're still looking for that gold that they lost earlier. We'll take care of them, and a bunch of crabs are in the area. Of course, I'm going to go up north and find more gold next to the very, very still ocean, and look. Palm trees, and look. There's 3 of them, in a triangle shape, with a dark spot where there might be an X. Yes, this is the magical treasure of Edward Blackleg, explorer of Port Royal. So now we can get the shovel out, dig this up. You have to keep pressing the button over and over and over and over again, of course. And there we have it. Treasure. Now that we've collected more than 200 gold, we have unlocked a flintlock pistol. This will come in handy. Well, that was fun. This has been Missing Name. Till next time, whenever that is.